Hey, is this thing on? The term soft life is not widely recognized or a commonly used phrase in most communities, but it is definitely popular here on YouTube. But its meaning may vary depending on the context in which it's being used. And it's also important to note that perceptions of what constitutes a soft life can definitely vary depending on individual perspectives, different cultural backgrounds, and of course, personal values. However, if we all interpret it in a general sense, soft life could refer to a lifestyle that's characterized by comfort, ease, and a lack of major challenges or hardships. Well, typically we aren't all just born into a soft life. So I wanted to share my perspective today on how you can achieve a soft life by eliminating certain things from your life that are causing those challenges or hardships. So stay tuned to hear my 5 tips. Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we jump into the topic today, I wanted to invite you to stick around if you are new to my channel. My name is Amber, and on this channel, we have a weekly dose of self-improvement. I cover a lot of different topics about personal growth, personal development, and finding overall joy and peace in your life. So if that interests you, definitely subscribe and join the community. So we've been talking about soft life. I feel like soft life has definitely been a trend over the past couple of years. And of course, everyone has their different spin on it. But typically when we talk about the soft life, and even on my channel when I've talked about the soft life in the past, I've really focused on things that you need to add to your life to gain a soft life, like having routines for morning and evening and making sure that you're resetting your life on Sunday and all of those fun, amazing things. But I wanted to share a different perspective today from the fact that gaining a soft life really means that you need to eliminate some things. So instead of focusing on what you can add to get to a soft life, we're going to focus on what you need to take away. So there are a lot of different things, of course, but today we're just going to focus on my top 5 things that you need to eliminate in your life if you would like to live a soft life. And the first one, if you have been here before, you know sometimes this is a tangent of mine, negative people. I cannot stress enough how important it is to make sure that you remove negativity from your life. Unfortunately, there are some people who just are not happy with themselves. They are not fulfilled, they don't have joy, and they don't have peace, and they're not willing to do the work and go on the journey like you are. And because of that, they have a tendency to try to pull other people down. And one thing to note is that people who want to be negative and take and pull away from others always look for someone who they feel like they can attack or manipulate or make themselves appear like they are better than this person. It's definitely premeditated targeting that goes on in the minds of people who want to tear others down. So there's no point in allowing that to be in your life. Unfortunately, that may come from people who were already in your life, and it could be in really small ways. I will say, of course, there are people who are just ill-intended, and that is the way that they are trying to bring you down. But there's also people who just do not know anything different. They have not learned the importance of uplifting or supporting others, and so it could be unintentional, but either way, whether it's on purpose or it's done unintentionally, it is not okay for someone to mistreat you, to tear you down, to be rude when you're sharing your wins and celebrations and things that you're excited about, or to always come from a negative angle. So you really have to sit back and assess, are there people in my life who are centered and grounded in negativity? Do I want to have those people around me? Do I want to continue to let them impact my decisions and the way I go about my daily routines? The answer definitely should be no. You cannot hold on to negativity. So whatever form it's coming from, whether it's someone you know, whether it's random people on the internet, there's no need to allow that into your life. Protect your peace. Having peace is such an important key component to having a truly soft life. Next up, we are going to get into hustle culture. I feel like in the mid to late 2000s to 2010s, like hustle culture was a huge theme. There were songs about it. There were like inspirational posters about hustling, hustle hard, hustle, you don't win, no muscle. I don't know, all of those kind of things. But it just became like this wave of like, you've gotta give all of yourself, all of the time, even if you aren't feeling your best, or even if you have mental struggles that you are currently going through, it doesn't matter. You've got to show up and you've got to always push yourself. Now, while I believe it is so important to be disciplined, it's also so important to listen to your mind and your body and to be balanced. So do not submit to the idea of hustle culture, that you always have to be go, 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 and you always have to give 110%, even if you don't have it to give. Take a moment, reflect on how you are truly feeling before you can decide what you're going to share out to the world. It is okay to take a moment and figure out what you need to do for yourself. There is no need to listen to all the noise that can go on around us and the idea that hustling is the only way to make it. If you have decided, look, this is what my dream life looks like, this is my idea of a soft life, and you know that that doesn't include you going at 110% all the time, then that is okay. Acknowledge that, accept that, and celebrate that part of you who wants to be able to live a life that you love and that you enjoy without having to expend energy more than you can. The next thing that you definitely have to eliminate from your life if you would like to obtain a soft life is people pleasing. I know for myself on the Enneagram scale, I am a 3, which is the achiever, and a lot of people are 1s, which is the perfectionist. Achievers and perfectionists have a harder time avoiding becoming people pleasers, but I'm going to share some tips about how I was able to do so. For one thing, I definitely feel like, especially early in my career, I definitely was a people pleaser, but guess what? The people were never pleased. And so once I realized like, hey, I am giving, and giving, you're taking, but you're not showing appreciation. That is where the issue comes in. When you realize that you continue to show up for people, but they are not going to show up for you, you may have this sense of loyalty to friends, to your boss, to your company, but then you realize that's definitely not being reciprocated, and I am the only person who feels this loyalty. It's definitely one-sided, and there's no need to continue having those types of relationships in your life. You cannot figure out what you want, find your joy and your peace within your soft life if you're constantly worried about others. People are going to have opinions. Your friends, your family, people who you don't even know. Everyone always has something to say. But if you're listening to what everyone else has to say, then how are you going to hear what your heart has to say, what your mind has to say? You really got to crowd out the noise and focus on you being the number one person that you want to please in order to gain a truly soft life where you can be happy and feel secure and really safe in the decisions that you've made, knowing that it was the best choice that you have made for yourself. All right, the fourth thing that you have to give up to get a soft life, which I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I am still working on this, is over scheduling. We cannot be in 5 different places at once. I used to say, okay, well, I can accept all these invitations to 3 different things within one day because one's in the morning, one's in the afternoon, one's at night. Well, I live in Houston. If you live in Houston, you know everything is at least 45 minutes to an hour away. So realistically, I cannot go to 3 different events, support 3 different things in one day. I'm driving back and forth. It's too much. And honestly, it wears me out. So with trying not to overschedule, the most important thing is you have to learn how to say no. Of course, you want to be everywhere. You want to support everyone and everything, but sometimes you just simply cannot. You do not have the bandwidth. So if you can't make it to something, respectfully decline. And let's say it's a celebration for someone, let them know, hey, I'm so sorry I can't make it to this event. I still want to celebrate this milestone with you. Let's get together at another time. Give them a date, see when you guys can meet up. It doesn't mean that you're not supporting someone just because you can't make it to something specifically that they invited you to. It is okay to say, hey, I need to celebrate you at a different time or in a different way. Running, constantly going, having to be here, there, and everywhere. It's not promoting peace, it's not promoting calm, and it's not promoting a soft life. So if you are someone who struggles with overcommitting, overscheduling, I am right there with you. So let's definitely work on that together, because I feel like that's the biggest component of what I am missing and the elimination factor as I'm building my soft life. And finally, the fifth thing that you have to eliminate if you want to live a soft life is fear of leaving other people behind. Now, I find this to be interesting and understand why it can be so challenging, because there's various aspects of what it means to leave others behind. It could be from a financial mindset. You're thinking, well, if I'm doing all of these things, if I'm improving my finances, if I'm reaching some of my financial goals, but other people around me aren't able to do the same, then maybe I feel kind of bad about that. Maybe I feel like I don't want to share if I got something that I really worked hard and have wanted for a long time, because I don't want to make other people feel bad or feel like I'm leaving them in a different place just because I've made this change in my life. Or let's say your lifestyle changes, things that you used to consider fun, maybe you just simply don't anymore. You want to live a different kind of life. You want to have entertainment or recreation or try new things that maybe aren't familiar to people who you typically spend time with and hang out with. So if you kind of get to a place where you're like, hey, I'm not actually going to be able to join that, and then you go and do something that you really want to do, you may feel bad initially because you're like, wow, I really don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want them to think that I don't want to spend time with them, or that I feel like what we used to do together or what they're choosing to do still is something I don't agree with. It's just something that I don't want to do anymore. And you definitely have to get into that mindset of, it kind of ties back to the people-pleasing aspect as well. What do you want to do? What do you want in your life? What do you want to build and create and gain? If it's not aligning with everyone else and everyone else is not on that journey with you, that is okay. That doesn't mean that you don't care about them and that you can't still spend time with them in ways that you feel comfortable doing things that work for everyone involved. But it does mean that you're gonna get to a point where sometimes you will separate. You are going to naturally evolve and change and develop into the person that you want to be while you're creating that dream life, while you're creating that soft life. And that may look a little bit different. It may be a little bit uncomfortable. It may be a little bit scary, but it's definitely going to be worth it when you see the positive impact that it has made on you personally, and the lifestyle that you've imagined or dreamed about actually becomes a reality. You're gonna be like, all right, I see why these sacrifices or this elimination process was so important. And you're going to become really grateful for that and implement these changes, these eliminations moving forward in your life to continue to grow and thrive and achieve everything that you have ever wanted. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please comment below what you are doing to gain a soft life, what having a soft life means to you. Also, if you feel like eliminating things in order to gain a soft life is important, share what you have eliminated. Definitely, I'm only sharing 5 tips in this video, and I know that you all have so many amazing things to share. So talk it out in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Affirmations with Amber.